If boundaries feel awkward, if you freeze up, if you set one once and then you immediately fold, or you over-explain, you're not alone. Most people don't struggle with boundaries because they're weak. They struggle with boundaries because they were never taught a clean method of how to set them and maintain them. Here's a 4-step way to set boundaries that actually works in real life. And this isn't going to turn you into some kind of robot or some kind of villain. And along the way, I'll give you examples so that you can actually hear what these sound like in practice. 1. Target the problem, not the person. Before you engage in a conversation about boundaries with anyone, be specific and understand exactly what the problem is. Most people try to set boundaries in a fog, when they're upset or when it's already been crossed, and by that point it's a little bit too late. In a fog, we'll say things like, I need respect or I need personal space, but that doesn't actually identify what is going on. So do this instead. Name the target in plain language. When you call me after 10 p.m., when you drop last-minute plans on me, when you make jokes that are at my expense, when you treat my free time like it's automatically yours. That's the target. Behavior, not the person's character. Because if you attack character, people naturally want to defend themselves, just as if I attacked your character, you'd want to defend yourself. If you name the behavior, you can actually focus on something that's modifiable, something that can actually improve when the attention is brought to it. And decide this up front. Is this a preference you have, or is this a hard line you're not willing to negotiate on? Preferences, they can flex. Hard lines have consequences. Knowing which one you're dealing with keeps you from uncertainty. 2. Deliver it in one clean sentence. This is where people can turn their boundary into a TED Talk. They can add 20 disclaimers, explain their whole childhood, apologize for having a spine. You want a boundary to be short enough that it can't be argued with. More of a statement, less of a request. Here are 3 simple formats you can use. I'm not available for fill in the blank. I hear you. I'm not available for yelling though. I don't do fill in the blank. I don't do last minute pressure. If X happens, I'm going to fill in the blank. If the conversation turns disrespectful, I'm just going to hang up and then we can revisit it later. Notice what's missing. No negotiation, no debate, no asking permission. A boundary isn't you asking someone to understand you. It's you telling them how they get access to you. And this is the pathway that they have to follow if they want that access. And you reserve the right to stop access at any point. Calm voice, normal face, no performance. It's just direct. 3. Enforce the boundary. If you set a boundary, but you don't have the follow through to enforce it and the consequences that come along with it when someone violates them, what you're doing is training people to ignore you and your boundaries. The painful part about this is that you end up ignoring yourself too. Your consequences have to have 3 things. They need to be immediate enough to matter, small enough to execute, and realistic enough to do them every time. Consequences don't have to be big and dramatic. In fact, it's best that they're small and consistent. If it keeps going, I'm just going to end the call. If you keep pushing, I'm going to leave. If this becomes a pattern, I'm going to stop making myself available to you. Simple. This isn't punishment, although it's easy to think that way when there are consequences. These are self-preservation. They're not about hurting the other person, they're about protecting you. Because if you allow things to continue this way, then you will end up getting hurt. Yes, sometimes the right consequence is a bit of distance. Not because you hate someone else, but because you have to protect yourself. The reality is that you're going to be with you your whole life. And if you don't look out for you, if you don't protect you, a lot of times no one else is going to. So you have to be the person who sets the boundary. You have to be the person who sets the standard. And you have to be the person who enforces that. 4. Reinforce, repetition, and an emphasis on repair. One conversation rarely fixes a problem. Not pessimism, that's just how habit works. And so you can expect to revisit some things multiple times and have multiple conversations about them. Your job is to stay consistent enough so that people can learn the new rules. If someone forgets, and it's not malicious, they're not intending to hurt you, it's okay to give them a gentle reminder. remember, I'm not doing that. And then you follow through. If someone turns it into drama, guilt, or a character attack, you don't have to respond and engage with that in the same way. You don't argue the boundary, repeat it once, enforce it once. Here's what boundaries do over time. They filter. The people who care about you won't mind changing to improve the relationship with you. And the people who benefit from you being the way you are will always want you to stay the same. So they're going to fight you to keep you that way rather than you trying to change the relationship dynamic and establish good boundaries that are good for growth. I'll give you some quick examples for partner, family, friends, and work so you can see how these actually play out in real life. For a partner, in a situation where the tone shifts into sarcasm or disrespect in mid-conversation. Pause. When the tone shifts into sarcasm, I shut down. I'm not doing disrespect. If we can't keep it civil, I'm going to take a break. Oh wow, so now I can't say anything? You can say anything, just not like that. I'm stepping away for 20 minutes and we can talk when things are a bit calmer. And then you actually end the conversation, be it in person or over the phone, whatever's going on in your situation. Revisit it later. Let them know up front before the conversation starts, I'm not available for disrespect. I'd like this conversation to be calm and productive. And then proceed as normal. 2, family and parents. They guilt you for not showing up or doing enough. Oh, it must be nice to forget where you came from. I'm not doing guilt. If you want to ask me for something, just ask me directly. Oh, so I can't even express how I feel? You can, but guilt isn't a request. If it stays like this, I'm ending the call. Unbelievable. All right, love you. We'll talk another time. And reinforce it next time. I'm happy to stay connected. I'm happy to have these conversations, just not like this. 3, with friends. Situation, they constantly dump on you and then expect you to be immediately responsive and always available. Text you, hello, are you ignoring me? I'm not ignoring you, I am just not on call. I can talk tonight for 15 minutes. If you need more support than that, we'll have to do it another time. Wow, I guess I'll just deal with it alone. I'm not doing emotional hostage situations. I can either talk 15 minutes later or not at all. And then you stick to the time limit. Reinforce it. I care about you, but I'm also protecting my energy. Example 4, with your coworkers and your boss. And in this example, they drop a last minute, I need this ASAP on you. Hey, I need this done ASAP, but I need you to pick the priority. If this moves to the front of the line, something else has to move back, so which one are we sacrificing? Just figure it out. I'm not guessing priorities. You tell me which one to deprioritize, and I'll execute. Then you wait, calm, no scramble. Reinforce. I'm happy to help. I just need clear, defined priorities, so that way I know what to do and the work gets done cleanly. And some quick one-liners you could take with you. I'm not available for being talked over. That doesn't work for me. I'm happy to talk when we're both calm. I don't do last-minute pressures. That topic isn't on the menu today. If this continues, I'm leaving. Boundaries aren't you trying to control people. Boundaries are you protecting and prioritizing your own well-being. They're you taking responsibility and accountability for your time, energy, and peace. Pick the target, say it clean, follow through, and reinforce. That's how you stop living like an open door and you start living like you belong to yourself. Until next time, always stay up to no good.